The woman suddenly noticed a man approaching from outside the window, and what was even scarier was that he was wearing a ski mask. One look told her he was a professional robber. She watched as he walked up to the door and peered inside. The man's boldness left her completely stunned. A moment later, as if he couldn't see clearly, the man raised a hand to shield his eyes and continued to look in. Then, as if deciding it was time to act, he pulled out a hammer. He reached for the door, opened it, and carefully stepped inside. But by then, the woman had already fled. The man quickly noticed something, a ball of yarn left on the floor. Strangely, the woman didn't want to give it up and was frantically pulling at the thread. The man followed the yarn across the floor, realizing she had run upstairs. At that moment, the man's accomplice arrived, breathing heavily. The first man pointed to the stairs, and the accomplice looked equally surprised. The first man handed him the hammer, and the accomplice headed upstairs. Following the yarn, they reached the top and found the woman's knitting basket at the stair landing. They followed the yarn further, which led them straight to the bedroom. The man pushed open the door, finding a half-finished sweater on the floor. Both men entered cautiously, tense and suspicious. One of them slowly lifted the bedsheet while the other yanked open the wardrobe, but the woman wasn't there. The accomplice grew irritated. Where the hell had she gone? Then he noticed something, gave a signal to the first man, and crept toward the curtain. The next second, the woman struck. Her fighting skills were incredible. She dropped one man in seconds. The other man didn't hesitate and gave chase. The woman grabbed what she could and ran, glancing back to see if he was following. But then, she slammed hard into something and went down hard, seemingly knocked out cold. The two robbers rushed down to check on her, but then it turned out she was faking it. But now she was cornered, pressed against the wall by two strong men with no way out. One of them sneered, "Someone wants you alive," but they never said anything about leaving you with all your teeth. The woman seemed to give in. When her husband came home from work, he immediately noticed something was wrong. There was a pool of blood at the door. He called the police right away. A seasoned female officer arrived quickly, but when she saw the ski mask on the ground, she fell silent, her face full of confusion.